So I would pass this over to Jasim. Jasim, all yours.
Thank you, Kudrat. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing very well and wherever you are in whichever part of the country and enjoying whatever little bit of sun that we are having. So just to give a quick introduction, I'm Jasim Qazi. I am part of the group. I am there on the WhatsApp group as well. So you have my details there. If you do need, I can share it over here too. I come from a background in civil engineering and I do hold a master's in construction management. So for the last, since about 2006, 2006 onwards, I've pretty much been in property, real estate, and the construction space. I have worked in India, Doha, Qatar, and then UK. Currently, we have like three folds of to our business. The first fold is a consulting division where we advise investors, developers, and main contractors with project management and program management. When we say program management, we help people with taking a project from concept to completion, uh, identifying where you can add value, what possible exit strategies you could have, going from there to identifying the whole power team that you would need, and then getting the contractors through getting the contractors on board and seeing through delivery and completion and handing it over to the estate agents, where depending on whatever your strategy is, if it is to refinance and hold, then getting it to a stage where all the sign-offs are done and you can getting you the valuation pack that you would need to get your refinance, or to if your exit strategy is to sell, to get you all the documentation for your solicitors to take care of the sale proceedings. So that's our consulting division. And then we have as part of our consulting, we also help with appraisals and analysis and things like that. And then we have our construction team, where we have now built in-house team of about 8 people, where we take on refurb and conversion projects. So today, primarily, I would be speaking to you more from the construction side of things. And if you do need anything from a consulting point of view, like if you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer. But I would like to shed light to you on the last 2 projects we have done over about almost a year and a half now. Not year and a half. We started that project in August, and we completed 98% of it in March, and the last 2% is taking a very long time. So that's the reality of any project. That's from my construction company side that I would be sharing. And the third aspect of our business is developments, where we purchase land or old office buildings to convert them into apartments. We are actively looking for sites. We have investors on board who invest with us, and we do the project, we exit out of it, and pay all our investors back. So with this introduction, I would first like to thank Kudrat for giving this opportunity to share what we've learned with all of you. It's good that we can share and we can learn from other experience. I look forward to hearing what Austin has to say today as well. The first project, like what Kudrat has done in terms of BRR, buy, refurbish, refinance, and rent. We worked on a HMO project in Birmingham, where we converted it from a 3-bed detached house to an 8-bed HMO. Each one with en suites, each one complying with the minimum regulations of HMO guidelines prescribed by the council. This one had to go through planning approval. We had quite a few difficulties getting the planning approved because about 36 people on the street got together and filed something with the council to not approve this application. So it was a petition. Yeah, it was a petition to the council to not approve this license. So we literally had to fight it out with the council, with 2 planning commission meetings, and explaining to them what we are doing and how we are adding value to the street. We came back successful primarily because we were not trying to be stingy with spaces. Yes, you need to add value, you need to create more rooms, but at the same time, you need to show that you are considerate about the people who are living there. Yes, you need to make money. I'm not saying you don't, but you also need to be considerate. When you're considerate about the service that you're offering as a landlord, you tend to get a better quality of crowd there as well. Correct? And that better quality of crowd will help you give a better rental income on each one of those. So one of the key factors that made the council to favor us and give the planning application towards us was the fact that we are quite considerate about the spaces that we provided for each room, about the facilities that we provided for all of these rooms, be it the kitchen, be it the communal spaces, be it the garden area, what we had in plan for the garden, how we looked at it from a sustainability aspect, how we intended to future proof the whole development. So property is a game where you're constantly looking to add value. When you add value is when you can make money out of it, right? Without adding value, you're not really doing anything. So here the value we added was the client. It is not, I was the program manager on board, where it was a consulting as well as a construction assignment to us. So we help the client envisage what are the three exit strategies, right? So before they bought the property, the exit strategies we had primarily was HMO. What if we don't get 8-bed HMO? The option B was 6-bed HMO, which we don't need planning. Option C, utilize the land on the side of the property and create a pair of semi-detached dwellings. So whenever you go into a project, don't look at one exit, look at multiple exits, because things go wrong. Things never go to plan. While you have things, while you have planned out things, it is not like an IT or a manufacturing setup where it is on an assembly line and things will fall in place one after the other. There's a lot of coordination and human effort involved, and people don't turn up. There could be 1,001 ways of what things could go wrong, right? We can keep talking about it. I can scare all of you from doing any property, so let's not go there at all. But that's the reality. While I don't want to scare you, I still want to tell you the reality. So because I see Kudrat laughing because she has gone through quite a bit of it, and I have been on one of the projects with her while she was going through all of this. So always plan for what next, what other option, right? So with and then we started the development and went through. While we when we originally quoted for the job, it was in January 2022. We had quoted at about 165,000 plus VAT for the refurb job. It was and but when we finally completed the job, it costed us 223,400 pounds. And it is not because we underestimated things. Yes, there are some aspects of electrical which we underestimated. I'm not saying no. There are some aspects of roofing which we underestimated. So these things which we underestimated factored about, say, 5 to 8,000 pounds. So 165 to about 173. But everything else was primarily due to the fact of material price increase. The plasterboards in January, I'll give you a few examples of materials. Plasterboards in January, which were available to us from Selco for about 6 or 8 pounds, we had to spend 11.5 pounds, right? And then the cement bags which we used, plaster bags which we used to buy, skimming bags which we used to buy, the render bags which we used to buy for 5 pounds or less than 5 pounds, right? We had to pay about 9 or 11 pounds, depending on where we were buying it from. So all like this, each and every item of construction material, the price has increased. And then one fine day, the building regulation inspector walks into the property and says, this is like I will treat this as though it is a block of apartment. So you need to provide adequate soundproofing, which means instead of using 112.5, so we have four types of plasterboards: the plain plasterboard, the sound plasterboard, the fire rated plasterboard, and the bathroom, the aqua boards, right? So we normally use 12.5 mil on the ceiling, so which provides, or worst case, we use 15 mil, because 15 mil provides 30-minute fire rating plus gives good sound acoustics performance. But this inspector had something different in mind. He wanted double plasterboard. So when the moment you do double plasterboard, you can't straight put it onto the ceiling, and he wanted a insulated gap. So we had to create a suspended ceiling and do double plasterboard. Plus, to add it off, material price increase. Each of these 15 mil plasterboards cost 20 pounds. So suspended ceiling met additional material plus labor. So this is how things go wrong. So ensure you have good amount of contingency and ensure you have planned well for your construction budgets. I must say, Kudrat, the projects that you showed and the refurb rates that you showed are no way close to achievable. So this is how it is. And this was this is an experience that we had. And so things like these, multiple things added on from what we had. And then because it was a extension, double story extension and project, the building regulations had asked for what is called a SAP. SAP is what is meant to check the energy efficiency and the performance of the property. Obviously, we wanted to future proof it, and we do want to come back with a B rating, because the moment you have improved from, say, D or E to B, B for Bravo or A for Alpha. A for Alpha is very difficult to achieve unless you are actually building from scratch. A B rating was what we are hoping to achieve. And to do that, you need to provide additional external insulations. So we had to again go through what kind of insulation we are providing. Then they said, in addition to the external wall insulations, if you provide insulations on the suspended floor in the ground floor, because you have suspended floor slabs there, you could improve by about 5 points. So it was worth incurring those expenses. These expenses were not planned. So you need to be open of how you are going about and what you're going about. At the same time, have realistic expectations. If you don't understand, consult. If you do understand, ensure you have the right team and doing the right kind of things at the right time. Sorry. So, and this is a property where we put in infrared heating for each room. So there's localized heating, which can be controlled through smart thermostats, which basically makes it more attractive for professionals and makes them a little more lazy, because they don't have to get up and go to the thermostat to check what they need to do. But it is more attractive, right? So things like these can help you add value to get that rental income. And rental income is what will govern the commercial valuation at the end of the day. So we did analysis of who is the end market going to be, what profile of people are going to occupy these rooms. If this is the profile of people occupying these rooms, how much can we go and how much value add can we do that it would make attractive to them to come and stay in this room and pay a premium. We did not want to follow suit of other landlords where they would put on the utility, they would not take care of the utility bills. Some landlords do take care of utility bills, some landlords let the tenants pay utility bills, right? But being in some areas, it is perfectly good thing to let tenants take care of utility bills, especially with students. But in areas like these where rental, say a 1-bed rental house would be available for a cheaper price of say 500 or 600 pounds, why would someone want to come and stay in a HMO room? So if we did say 600 pounds, all bills included, no council tax to be paid, everything sorted out, it would make sense, right? So in order to achieve that slightly higher 25-50 pound higher rental, see, it was not just about 25 pound per room, it is 8 rooms. Sorry. It is 8 rooms that we are looking at. And when you look at 8 rooms, it makes a lot of difference. And that when you look at from a valuation, uh, when you look at from a valuation point of view, adds quite a bit. So be mindful. So all of this I'm telling you is to explain to you the fact that be mindful of what you're providing to your end customers. Add value, provide value, you will get value back. So that's something that I wanted to bring to your attention. Next, the second project that we worked on is actually we are working on it now. It is so interesting. This was just a simple construction job, refurb job. We are not the investors, we are not the developers, we are not even doing program management or anything of that sort. It's straightforward refurb. When we quoted for the job, we quoted at 60K. And when the client started choosing the final specification, all our provisional sums were thrown out of the park. So their kitchen instead of 6K came at 14K. Because again, this is their family home, so they want high-end specs and they want what and what not. So with all of these, so when you're going through that, as investors, you need to be clear that the property that you're buying is not your family home. It's an investment property. Don't overspend, but at the same time, don't be cheap as well. You need to know what is that limiting barrier for yourself. What is the finish you are providing? And stick to that. Because the moment you start envisaging that you're going to live in there and you start going overboard with the spec, you will tend to lose a lot of money. You can put in a kitchen for 3K, you can put in a kitchen for 4 to 5K, or you can put in a kitchen for 15K. The 5K kitchen is more than enough. 3K kitchen could be a little too stingy. Whereas 5K kitchen could be good. How do you get materials for cheap? LNPG still exists. LNPG is Landlord National Purchasing Group. You can, if through that you get magnet kitchens, or whoever your builder is, ask them if they can get you good trade rates from Howdens. Don't go to Ren. Don't go to, what is that other kitchen place? I forgot. So if you look at these places, you will be able to make money. So there are quite a few. When you another strategy as investor, if you, this is only if you want to be extremely invested into the property. If you want to be completely hands off, this is not for you. If you want to be invested through the refurb process, then this strategy is for you, where you can tell your builders that you will provide all the second fix finishes. So you can shop for them, you can choose what you want, and they just do the installation for you. There are various ways to reduce price and control your budget with second fix. And at the same time, if you are not careful, you could overspend on second fix as well. So you need to be smart, you need to be careful, and you can definitely save money on second fix. So these are the few points that I wanted to bring to your attention as investors and how to work your refurb through. So first, your due diligence. Next, see how you can add value. 3, your budgets. Don't initially, when you're doing your due diligence, provide for additional spend and lower GDV at the back end. If you spend less, that's a plus point for you, right? And then have multiple exit strategies. So this is how you could go through what you need to do. And best of luck with whatever you're doing. And if you do need any assistance or any help, more than happy to help. Take care, guys. Have a good evening. Thank you again, Kudrat.
Thank you, Jasim, for sharing. Do we have any
questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, go on.
contingency percentage, what do you work on?
If it's a development project, I work on 10 to 12%. If it is a conversion project from houses to apartments, again 10 to 12% of the build cost. If it's a flip or a refurb project, I work on 15 to 20%.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go
Sorry.
on.
Yeah. You mentioned that for is it commercial property that you can really do BRR, or you can do it with any property, provided you get
You
the
can do it.
property in the
You
right
can do it
place.
with any property where you can add value.
Okay.
It need not be commercial. It can be a 2-bed terraced house where you can, if you can add value by adding a room or adding a bathroom, you can still add value and do a refinance, and you can pull out as much money as you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. So Joyce, with regards to that question, one thing you also need to understand in the strategies the examples I gave you, I was able to pull all the money out. There are situations where you're unable to pull all the money out. So like Jasim said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a commercial building. It could be a buy-to-let, like the second example I gave you. It could be any that you could substantially add value to. And what that means is that you can come out at the back end with a commercial valuation, whereby that will be determined on rental income. Again, in line with what Jasim said, rental income, when you put a lot of work onto the property itself, you're able to charge a higher or a good rental income on the property. And what that does is that it appreciates, or it allows you to get a very good valuation return or report on your property. So it doesn't really matter. It just depends on how well you work the numbers.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
That's okay. Thank you, Jasim, very much for sharing with us. So I'll